It's Matt along with Big Goo. And today we're going to talk about young Terry, who's going to be the newest and sparkliest healer and support unit. But the big question is young Terry going to be our hero? Or is he going to be out slurped by Seraphy? So stay tuned and we'll let you know. All right. Young Terry is going to be our newest support unit. Very interesting unit. Has some very strong capabilities and some weak capabilities as well. We'll talk about them. Leadership effect, increased defense power by 20%. Is very powerful. Um, is very useful, especially if the goals for like to try to stall out teams on arena and so forth. Defense power by 20% can do a lot of help with that, but there are ways around it. Still, though, it's going to be the best defensive overall boost that we will see for quite some time. First skill, Forge Ahead. Increase the mobility of a unit. And that's right, this increases the mobility of a unit for 3 turns. Um, Unique skill, very powerful. Can be also very useful to fix some specific issues. Um, Defend judiciously. Greatly recovers all allies and reduces damage by 15% for 3 turns. Greatly recovers, I'm going to say, might be a little bit of a misnomer. It's not nearly as much as what Seraphy does, but still, with the reduction in damage by 15% for 3 turns, this is very helpful, but there is no auto regen afterwards either. And the last one is Show No Mercy. Increases the power and effects of all physical and spells for 3 turns. This is just like Seraphy's. It's a free range, except it's got a much larger range, and it's physical and spells. So actually, it's better than Seraphy's. Very useful. And to be quite honest, the big problem with young Terry is that you could only have one of him, and he has too much that he can do. So, and I'm sorry, my boys are being very loud today. The first awakening is if he's next to another unit and they attack an enemy with a physical attack, he will then buff their attack for 3 turns. Third is with magic instead and buff their magic. So he can heal, be next to a unit, and then still buff a unit. It's a strong point and a weak point at the same time. He needs to be next to your allies in order to really do all of his magic, which gives some really powerful stairs, but it leaves you very weak to AoE as well. So there is a big plus and a big minus there. Second and fourth is Frozen Crack resistance at 25. And unfortunately, his auto MP refresh is 5 hearts. It is pretty freaking expensive to get it. And to me, that is his greatest weakness. But the good news is his MP and his MP usage is not nearly that severe. If you look at his MP at 546, that's pretty good. He can use Defend Judiciously about 10 times at level 10 if you got him fully leveled up. But at that point, then you've also got him MP refresh, and he lasts a lot longer. Even at a 1, he could still do it for about 6 or 7 turns, which is easily enough for Arena. For PvE, for the super long one, Seraphy is, I feel, is still a little better. But that's the only place where Seraphy is going to really rule the roost at this point. Along with if you've got an enemy that has a lot of AoE but doesn't have as much power, or you have a lot of resistances and you're looking for that refresh type healing. Those are where Seraphy is better than Young Terry. Otherwise, Young Terry is more for offensive, attacking, annoyance, and trying to finish things much faster because of that. HP 1290 and defense 392 are insanely high for a support healer. That's because he is designed to be, I'm not going to say on the front lines, but near the front lines, try to keep him from being completely destroyed with a powerful AoE range. His attack is 295 and his wisdom is 291, which is not great. But his agility is 541 and his movement of 2, which you go, ooh, that's painful. But he does have the ability for turns 1, 2, and 3 of increasing his movement and having more agility on top of it. So he could really, his first turn is just going to be buffing up the entire team, show no mercy. And then we're just going to go and then turns 2 and 3, he will be using his movement to kind of catch up and heal and do whatever else is necessary. But honestly, great unit. And the big thing is Show No Mercy has a range of up to 2, which is a little bit better. And I like it a little bit better than Seraphy's. It allows you to get just a little bit more distance on it, which I think is important. His preferred weapon, Wonder Knife. It's an okay weapon. It's really only good for him and Seraphy. Major thing here is gives recovery effect plus 4%, and also gives you recovery power, just a little bit of a boost, as well of 4%. MP 14 and agility 17, which really are the only 2 stats you really give any care about for healers, other than HP and defense as well, but you're not going to get that in these type of weapons. You will get this in boss battles, Terry's Wonderland, which is over here, which is going to be honestly a relatively small little area that we're going to get here, but we will get young Terry out of this. I want to call him Boy Terry, but you can do some other nice, neat things to get your party and all that. But we're kind of going to just get that just a little bit. I'm not going to go over that right now. It'll be a lot easier to show that in the game instead. Skills to look for an alchemy, Taishu's elixir, well protected. Taishu's elixir is a super ability, well protected, and MP are the things that you're going to be looking for here. I think you can also get agility with the lower ones, and go ahead, boost up the agility. That's kind of what you're looking for in healers. Anyways, his hero skill, Taishu's elixir, is really needed for him, especially unless if you get him to 5 hearts or fully awakened. I don't think I'm going to be able to get him fully awakened right now with how much I can do right now. But it greatly recovers HP and MP of all allies within range. The MP is much more important than the HP. It will cover all of his MP consumption plus a little bit more. And also it's really, really helpful if you have like Jessica, especially if you save it to like turn 5 when she uses hers, or turn whatever. And more likely you're also going to use it when young Terry runs a little bit low on his MP to boost his MP back up as well. Pros, cons, polls. He's a better healer and buffer combination than Seraphy. And he has the unique ability to add movement, which unfortunately I don't think you're actually going to be able to use with Terry. And I think it's pretty much a waste of skill because he just has too much to do. His support abilities on off turns is amazing as well if you awaken him. His HP and quickness is great, and as I say, he's got better mobility and agility for the first 3 turns, which... what else can you really ask for in those terms? He has lower healing recovery compared to the other S units. Not by a whole lot, though. There's a lot of cons here, but they're really nitpicky, and this is not a death by 1,000 cuts. This is me being very, very critical and probably too harsh on young Terry. The big problem is he is so versatile, he has way too much to do that he can do. And that's the big problem with Terry. And it's an embarrassment of riches. He sounds absolutely wonderful, and he is. And he does offer a lot of unique abilities that you can do, but you can't do all of them, and there's no way that you're going to be able to keep up everybody buffed up with all of his buffs because they just don't last long enough, and he doesn't have all AoE. And you're probably going to have to heal him as well, or heal somebody along with him as well. So you're just going to be doing the 15% damage reduction along with the attack and magic power. That's really, really good. And as I say, he has that damage protection that is AoE with the heals. Very powerful. And the one con that I do think is an issue, but he is still very, very useful for a lot of things. But in very protracted battles, he is a liability unless if you get him fully awakened. If you get him fully awakened, he can do everything. And this is the one thing I don't like about how they built the unit. You have to fully awaken him to be able to use it for everything. And personally, this MP recovery, even though the other two skills are fantastic, I think is the most important skill for a healer for a lot. But you can still use Seraphy instead. And if you don't have Seraphy and you're looking for a unit that can go very, very long distance, you have to get him to 5 hearts there. Will I pull? Yes. Still, though, my goal is to get 3 awakenings. I'm going to base on Seraphy to do all the super long ones. But really, my con list seems like it's really long. Young Terry is better in most of the game compared to Seraphy is. He is the top tier in JP. Seraphy is still very, very useful. If you have no resources, you can miss out on Young Terry. It is a blow, but it's not like a blow where if you've already got Seraphy, you can still survive. But Young Terry is the best healer in the game. Can't really mince much else other than that. So, yes, I will pull. And in all fairness, there's going to be a bunch of good and great, but not whoa units for a while. And Young Terry's really the last big one for a while. So, I'm willing to do that. But 3 awakenings, if I get really lucky, that'd be great. And I could do this because I got really lucky with Sorrow. Summonable units is Gripevine. Nature unit is a debuffer that can attack, but its first awakening gives additional movement along with the attack, and you're going, ooh, hold on. This attack isn't super great. I mean, I do like the Envenomate and Dazzle. The Dazzle's okay. The Envenomate with good damage and also third skill gives more poison damage, I believe, too. So very, very good skill, but I would say Gripevine's very much in the middle of everything. It's got good attack of 456, but it movement's 2. I said add another breath skill. Add something. Add a breath skill or an attack skill with the there. Add something that has AoE that's got some element if you're going to do there. The leadership effect is increased nature attack power by 10%. But unlike some of the other really nice units, I am a little disappointed with Gripevine. It's not really a control unit. It does deal envenomation damage. It will have its uses. If you go for Young Terry, get a couple of Gripevines. You'll find use for Gripevine, but all in all, it's not a, whoa, we're going to use this for that. We're going to use this for PvP, etc. No, it's just useful for some PvE if you want to poison. Just gives you another decent poison unit that has enough HP, can probably survive a hit. has easy and has enough attack where it can do some damage with that poison as well. That's all I've got. Good luck with everyone playing for young Terry. This is probably the most brutal part of um, Dragon Quest Tact for really meta unit defining units that will be coming at least for a while. And personally, looking through the list, I might be forgetting one. But the next unit that I'm really keeping an eye on is just finished in JP, so that's still quite a few months away. None of the units are bad that are coming out, and they're going to fill out a lot of families. I will try to get that going, and I'm sorry I haven't. It is literally all set up for me. I just haven't had the time, and I am trying to squeeze this out before I have to go and do some personal stuff myself. So, everyone have a good night. I will see you guys hopefully this weekend with the upcoming units.